Hi, good morning, friends. Today we are going to start very important head, that is salary. In case you will have any trouble in joining in or in watching the screen, just unmute yourself and let me know. Right now, my friends, when we talk about the salary head, so we have already discussed that when we talk about the gross total income requires we can say, income from all the five heads. And these heads are divided into income from salary, income from house property, and income from business profession, capital gains, and as well as your income from other sources. And in this particular case, when we talk about the salary income, so this is considered as one of the very important head, and most of the weightage also falls in this particular category. Reason being, because the salary question is going to come in your exam in a form of, we can say, the test, and when we file the return, so this particular section plays a very important role. And also, when we talk about the other practice questions, this salary head is considered to be very vital. So, what is required whenever we talk about any head of income? So, this particular head of income have certain conditions. So, when these conditions are fulfilled, then the particular income is going to be taxed under the particular head, इन द पर्टिकुलर हेड. तो जब तक एक इनकम सैलरी के मीनिंग को सेटिस्फाई नहीं करेगी और सैलरी की कंडीशंस को सेटिस्फाई नहीं करेगी, तब तक वो सैलरी हेड में कवर नहीं होगी. तो फॉर द पर्टिकुलर इनकम टू बी कवर्ड अंडर अ पर्टिकुलर हेड, certain conditions have to be satisfied. Secondly, we have to understand the process, that how the income will be calculated in the particular head. Then we need to learn the procedure, that how we are going to compute the particular income. Then we need to understand several kind of deductions, exemptions, and all the rules related to this. So once we understand all this stuff, then the particular income will be computed. And when we talk about the computation of the income under the head salary, so we had already discussed that when we talk about the salary, it comprises or it is divided into three major heads, that is basic salary, allowances, and perquisites. And when these are total, after computing all the different three headings, we arrive at a figure of gross salary. And from the gross salary, deductions under section 16 are being provided, and we arrive at the figure of income from salaries. So, in this particular case, what we have to understand is that what are the different components which will fall under the basic salary and the other related items, what are the allowances, what are different type of allowances, or how the taxability of different allowances is being done, what are the perquisites. Then sum total of all these three areas will give us a figure of gross salary, and whether all the conditions to be deduction under section 16 to be claimed is allowed or not. And then after allowing these deduction, we arrive at the figure of income from salary. Along with this, we have to also understand that what all our incomes are exempt under the particular head. So in this particular case, when we say that what all incomes are exempt in a particular head, so according to the exemptions, we have to take the particular value in the salary head. So we have to understand the provision for exemption. Then we will include the taxable value or the taxable income in the particular income, right? So now we have to understand, or we have to start with the first head, that was what are the preconditions for which should be satisfied that the particular income earned is considered taxable under the head salary. Now, when we talk about the preconditions or pre-requirements, so the very first precondition says that whenever we talk about the salary head, it is based on the employer employee relationship. It means that whenever a person is receiving any amount from his employer by virtue of such relationship, such receipt, until unless it is exempt, that such receipt is going to be taxable under the head salary. So this is the pre-requirement, or we have to understand this particular condition. So whether it is in a form of salary, or it is in the form of the wages, or it is named as any other term. So in that particular case, this particular receipt which is being received from the employer by virtue of such employer-employee relationship, such income is going to be taxed under the head salary. Along with this, we also need to understand that whenever the particular income is being received, such income is taxed only once, means that is the first receipt is taxable, right? So it means if we say receive some salary and we apply it for certain expenditure, or we give it to someone else, so the other person is not going to pay tax on that. But definitely when we are purchasing certain things, or certain tax are applicable on buying of those things, that is to be paid by us. But whenever we talk about the salary income, a person who has received such income under the head salary, this is first receipt is going to be taxable. We'll at later stage discuss the concept of the diversion and application of income as well. Second thing comes the place of accrual. When we talk about the place of accrual, means where this particular income has been incurred. So in that particular situation, it says that this particular income is considered as the particular income where it is being earned. So place of accrual is considered not where it is received, but it is considered where the services are being rendered. So place of accrual will be considered as services rendered. So in this particular situation, we have to see that where the services are rendered, that particular place is considered as place of accrual. And you must have learned when we discuss about the residential status deemed to accrue or arise in India. So there we had discussed one example, that a person who is receiving pension abroad, but the services have been rendered in India, such income will be considered as deemed to accrue or arise in India. So in this particular situation, we have to see that the particular income or salary is generated where the services are being rendered. But there is one exception. One exception is that if we have discussed that if a person is an Indian citizen, he is rendering his services abroad, and the services are salary is paid by the government of India, then in that particular case, such salaries taxable in India will be considered as deemed to accrue or arise in India. So, for with respect to the place of accrual, that particular point becomes as an exception. And also, we have discussed that the allowances received by these people, or perquisites received by these people, are going to be exempt. So, these 2 points we have to remember. Other than this, we have to understand what the salary is. So, for the salary, I generally make this table to help my students, and at a glance they can consider that all the we can say the items which are included in the salary. So for the salary head, I generally divide it into three components. One, I say section 1, basic salary and other emoluments. Second section we say as allowances, and the third part we take it as the perquisites. So one thing we have to remember, that in whatever name the amount is received from the employer by virtue of that relationship, that is going to be taxable under the head salary, uh, until unless it is considered as exempt in a particular head. So in that case, जिस भी नाम में for example in earlier years the transport facilities or cab facilities were not there. Nowadays the gym facilities, club facilities, or club membership fee, or many more items are being introduced. So over a period of time, these new items have come up, but again, we have to see that how these benefits are to be included, or how the value is to be calculated, whether it is tax free or it is taxable, on what basis it is going to be taxable. So we'll discuss step by step all these things. Now we start with the section 1. Section 1, we take it as the basic salary. Section 2 as allowances. Section 3 as perquisites. So when we talk about the basic salary, so basic salary is that emolument which is considered as fixed, or which is a small component, or which is given to the employee in form of the salary. So basic salary can be given in two forms. One can be fixed, and another can be in grade system, right? And whenever we are going to take the income, we have to take the income for the previous year, 2020, 21, and means that whatever salary is being received, whether from one employer or more than one employer, within this period, whatever amount of salary you have received, this is going to be taxable under the head salary. So whatever salary is basic salary is being received, we are going to take it for 12 months, until unless there is a case of retirement or leaving the job, right? Or the person has joined the salary or joined the job for the first time in the mid of the year. इन दो सिचुएशन में 12 महीने की सैलरी नहीं आएगी, राइट? फर्स्ट टाइम इन मिड ऑफ ईयर। अगर वो फर्स्ट प्रीवियस ईयर है उसके लिए तो 12 महीने से कम हो जाएगी सैलरी, बट वट एवर इनकम ही हैज जनरेटेड in this particular period under the head salary is going to be taxable. This is going to be taken for 12 months, until unless it is a case of retirement. If a person retires in between in the previous year, so his salary and the other emoluments are considered to be stopped, and the new we can say the variables, retirement benefits etc are being given. So salary stop हो जाएगी, तब वो 12 months की नहीं आएगी. और अगर वो फर्स्ट टाइम ज्वाइन कर रहा है इन द मिड ऑफ द ईयर में, फर्स्ट जॉब है उसकी, तो उस केस में उसकी जो सैलरी है वो 12 months की नहीं होगी, बिकॉज ही हैज नॉट रिसीव द सैलरी फॉर द 12 months. अदरवाइज वट एवर सैलरी इज बीइंग फिक्स, दिस इज टू बी टेकन फॉर द प्रीवियस ईयर एंड फॉर 12 months. तो अगर वो फिक्स फॉर्म ऑफ सैलरी है, so suppose the salary is fixed 12,000 per month, so we have to take 12,000 into 12. In grade system, we will learn after the basic concepts are over in this particular head, right? So in the grade system, again, we have to find out the salary earned during this particular period. Is it clear? Yes. Any question up till now? Let me see. Any question up till now? Yes.
मैम ग्रेड सिस्टम वाला बताना।
Grade system wala abhi after the concepts are over, then I'll let you know how to calculate the grade system salary, right?
ओके।
Okay. Okay, so now second concept in the basic salary head is comes as wages. So whether you are receiving in terms of basic salary or in terms of wages, it is considered, it is going to be taxable. So whatever amount you are receiving, this is going to be taxable. Another form of receipt can be in terms of bonus. So bonus can be given in one lump sum payment. Bonus can be given on certain occasion. So whatever amount you have received on account of bonus is going to be fully taxable. So I'll say fully taxable. Fully taxable. Then there comes another name of salary in form of commission. Whatever commission you are receiving, it is going to be taxable. Now this commission can be given in two forms. It can be in form of lump sum amount, or it can be in terms of percentage of sales. So this percentage of sales amount can be given, or the sales can be given and percentage can be given, then you have to calculate. So these two ways are there which can be there in form of receipt of commission of an assessee. So in this case it is also going to be fully taxable, right? So you have to remember this thing, that if the amount is received in form of wages, bonus, commission, it is going to be fully taxable. Then, if we talk about the profit, so nowadays we see that whenever a person joins the job, so he might be offered some share of the profit as well. So there can be profit in lieu of salary, कि सैलरी की जगह आपको प्रॉफिट ऑफर कर दिया, या फिर सैलरी तो है ही है बेसिक सैलरी, प्लस आपको इन एडिशन, अगर आप सेल्स करते हैं और एक पर्टिकुलर लेवल पे काम करते हैं, सो प्रॉफिट इन एडिशन टू सैलरी इज ऑल्सो बीइंग गिवन. सो वट एवर नेम इट इज गिवन, चाहे वो इन ल्यू ऑफ सैलरी है और या वो आपका इन एडिशन टू सैलरी है, इट इज गोइंग टू बी फुल्ली taxable. So there is no exemption in this. It is also going, again the reason is, if you are receiving a profit as a partner, तो वो सैलरी हेड में नहीं आएगा, वो आपकी बिजनेस इनकम हो जाएगा. बट इफ यू आर रिसीविंग प्रॉफिट एज एन एम्प्लॉय, then in that case, because it is because of the virtue of employer employee relationship, तो वो आपकी taxable हो जाएगी. Then there comes a concept of advance salary. When we talk about the advanced salary, so there is it means that we have to take the income of previous year, 1st April 2020 to 31st of March 21, right? Now, what happens that if in requirement there was a requirement in the month of March, probably the certain emergency or something, and for the next 2 months, April 21 and May 21, the person has taken the advance salary. Now, in this case, this advance salary is going to be taxable in the previous year 2021 only. Rule says that salary is taxable on receipt or accrued basis, whichever is earlier. तो पहले जो चीज़ आपके उसमें प्रीवियस ईयर में आ गई, वो आपकी उस बेसिस पे टैक्सेबल हो जाएगी. तो अगर आपने रिसीव पहले कर ली प्रीवियस ईयर 2021 में, तो वो टैक्सेबल होगी, और अगर वो अक्रू पहले हो गई तो वो टैक्सेबल होगी. सो इन दिस केस वी हैव सर्टेन अदर थिंग्स ऑल्सो which we are going to discuss just now. So in this particular case, you have to remember that if the advance salary is being received, it is going to be taxable when it is received, and at later stage when it is accrued, तो तब वो 2 महीने की सैलरी में अप्रैल और मई की टैक्सेबल नहीं होगी 21-22 में. Reason being that it has already been taxed, and every income can be taxed only once, it cannot be taxed twice. So advance salary is going to be taken into account on the basis when it is received. So if the salary is received earlier, it is taxable. If the salary is accrued earlier, it is taxable. Here one more concept is there with respect to the advance salary, which I would like to tell you here. Sometimes it says that salary of the month becomes due on the last day of the month and received on 5th of next month. You must have seen in most of the private organization, salary is not given on the last day, but salary is given generally in the first week of next month. Do you agree? Yes? Do you agree or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now in this particular case, व्हेन वी से सैलरी बिकम्स ड्यू ऑन द लास्ट डे ऑफ फर्स्ट मंथ, तो हमने सैलरी लेनी है 1 अप्रैल 2020 से 31 मार्च 2021 की। ठीक है, तो जो अप्रैल की सैलरी है वो कब ड्यू हुई? अप्रैल में। ठीक है, सिमिलरली मई की सैलरी कब ड्यू हुई? मई में। सिमिलर वी मूव फर्दर, मार्च की सैलरी कब ड्यू हुई? मार्च में। बिकॉज सैलरी बिकम्स ड्यू ऑन लास्ट डे ऑफ द मंथ, तो जिस मंथ की सैलरी है वो उसी मंथ में ड्यू हो रही है। सो इन दिस केस द सैलरी विल बी टेकन for the months of April till March, right? Now look at the other statement where it says that salary becomes due on first of next month and received on 7th of next month, right? Now in this particular case what happens, that the salary of March 2020 is becoming ड्यू इन अप्रैल, ड्यू भी अप्रैल में हो रही है और रिसीव भी अप्रैल में हो रही है। सिमिलरली सैलरी ऑफ अप्रैल 2020 is becoming due in the month of May and so and on and so forth. मार्च 2020 की सैलरी जो ड्यू हो रही है वो हो रही है मार्च 2021 की सैलरी ड्यू हो रही है अप्रैल 2021 में। So if we see our previous year, which we say that salary received in 2022, 31st of March 2021. So it means that in this particular case, salary of March 2022 Feb 2021 will be taken into account. This will be considered, right? Reason is that salary is taxable on the basis of received or due basis, whichever is earlier. अभी एडवांस सैलरी के केस में बताया था, तो चाहे वो सैलरी ड्यू हुई है या रिसीव हुई है, विच एवर इज अर्लियर, उसके बेसिस पे आपकी जो सैलरी है वो आपकी 12 मंथ्स में इंक्लूड होगी। ये भी पॉइंट जब हम ग्रेड सिस्टम का करेंगे तो अब और डिस्कस प्रैक्टिकल फॉर्म में भी करेंगे, बट हेयर इफ यू सी द एग्जाम्पल अगेन, it says that salary of the month becomes due on the last day of the month and received on 5th of next month. तो इस केस में वो ड्यू उसी मंथ में हो रही है, तो इट मीन्स कि हमारी अप्रैल की सैलरी अप्रैल में ड्यू हो रही है, मार्च की सैलरी मार्च में ड्यू हो रही है, तो जो इस रिस्पेक्टिव पीरियड की सैलरी है वो आपकी सेम रहेगी। बट इन केस इट इज गिवन दैट सैलरी बिकम्स ड्यू ऑन फर्स्ट ऑफ नेक्स्ट मंथ, तो इट मीन्स कि जो आपकी मार्च 2020 की सैलरी होगी वो आपकी कब ड्यू होगी फर्स्ट टाइम पे? अप्रैल 2020। ठीक है, तो इसका मतलब कि जो मार्च की सैलरी है वो ड्यू भी अप्रैल में हुई, रिसीव भी अप्रैल में हुई, तो वो मार्च में टैक्सेबल कैसे हो सकती है? इट इज गोइंग टू बी टैक्सेबल ऑन ड्यू बेसिस और रिसीव बेसिस, विच एवर इज अर्लियर, बट दिस इज कमिंग फर्स्ट ऑफ मंथ नेक्स्ट मंथ को वो ड्यू हो रही है और 7th ऑफ नेक्स्ट मंथ को रिसीव हो रही है, तो ड्यू भी नेक्स्ट मंथ हो रही है, रिसीव भी नेक्स्ट मंथ हो रही है। तो इफ वी टेक दैट दिस इज ड्यू इज ऑन फर्स्ट ऑफ मंथ, तो उस केस के अंदर सैलरी हमारी मूव हो जाती है नेक्स्ट मंथ। दिस पर्टिकुलर कॉन्सेप्ट विल बी मोर क्लियर when we will discuss about the grade system, but as of now you have to understand the rule that salary is taxable on the basis of received or due, whichever is earlier. So this thing you need to remember, right? So we'll discuss in detail these things again. Now next concept we move to areas of salary. Where is my first table? This one. या इसके बाद एडवांस सैलरी के बाद हमारा अभी ने एडवांस सैलरी के बाद कॉन्सेप्ट डिस्कस किया, इसके कंटिन्यूशन में ही हमारा आई एम पुटिंग 2 stars हियर, सो आई एम मूविंग टू दिस पर्टिकुलर शीट। So these are my 2 stars carried over from that sheet. एडवांस सैलरी के बाद एडवांस सैलरी हमने डिस्कस कर लिया. एडवांस सैलरी इज टैक्सेबल ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ बिकॉज इट इज रिसीव्ड अर्लियर. तो हमने रूल डिस्कस किया कि सैलरी की टैक्सेबिलिटी किस बेसिस पे होती है, रिसीव्ड और ड्यू विच एवर इज अर्लियर. एडवांस सैलरी के बाद आपका आ जाता है एरियर्स ऑफ सैलरी. अभी हम सिर्फ बेसिक सैलरी और उसके रिलेटेड इमोल्यूमेंट्स डिस्कस कर रहे हैं कि वो किस किस फॉर्म में हमें एम्प्लॉयर से मिल सकती है. तो जब हम बात करते हैं एरियर्स ऑफ सैलरी, तो एरियर्स ऑफ सैलरी मीन्स कि पिछले पुराने टाइम के एरियर्स हमारे जो है वो अभी हमें मिले. सो दीज आर टैक्सेबल ऑन रिसिप्ट बेसिस if not taxed earlier. Sometimes what happens, you must have learnt about the DA every 6 months increased or being announced by the government. So when the DA is announced, it is announced from the retrospective effect. तो उससे रिलेटेड जो भी एरियर्स मिलते हैं पिछले टाइम के, वो एरियर्स आपके रिसिप्ट बेसिस पे टैक्सेबल होते हैं बिकॉज you don't know how much government is going to increase the areas or how much amount is to be given. So in that case, because these are received later, though it is related to the past period, but if it is has not been taxed earlier, then it will be taxable on receipt basis. So whatever areas we are going to receive, if we are going to receive any of the areas in the previous year, so because we have received those areas in the previous year, then in that case it is going to be taxable. So here we just need to remember that whenever we are going to receive the arrears in the previous year, this is not taxed earlier. We take this presumption until unless it is given. So we consider कि वो पिछले पुराने टाइम में टैक्सेबल नहीं हुए, तो प्रीवियस ईयर में आपको जो भी मिल रहा है वो आपका टैक्सेबल होगा. बट देयर इज अ रिलीफ अंडर सेक्शन 89 which can be claimed, which we are going to discuss at later stage, right? After the arrears thing, there are certain retirement benefits. When we say that the person retires, तो वो रिटायरमेंट जो है हमारी रेलिवेंट प्रीवियस ईयर में होनी चाहिए, दैट इज 2021 में होनी चाहिए. तो अगर वो प्रीवियस ईयर में रिटायर हो रहा है, तो जितना आपको एमोल्यूमेंट, अलाउंसेस, परक्विजिट, सैलरी, एनी अदर बेनिफिट्स एम्प्लॉयर से मिल रहे हैं, वो बंद हो जाते हैं. दीज गॉट सीज एंड इंस्टेड ऑफ दैट you start receiving as per the rules pension. You receive certain emoluments in form of lump sum payment, which are known as we can say pension, we can say encashment of earned leave, gratuity, provident fund, etc. So these retirement benefits we have to compute. These are some portion of these benefits are exempt under section 10. So in the exempted incomes also we have discussed that whenever we are going to discuss the salary head, that time we are going to discuss these exempted amount, partially exempted income. So in the case of the retirement benefits, we have pension, we have gratuity, we have provident fund, then we have encashment of earned leaves. All these things we are going to discuss in detail, and we'll discuss the how the taxability is being done, what is the portion exempt, what are the conditions for exemption. All these things we are going to discuss. And sometimes there is voluntary retirement. Some schemes are being introduced, so some compensation is given in case of voluntary retirement, or if there is retrenchment of employees, so then there can be the retrenchment compensation. So how these things are to be given, we have to discuss the provisions in detail to learn the amount taxable and amount exempt. So whatever amount is being received, so उस received amount में से कितना portion taxable होगा और कितना portion exempt होगा, for that we have to learn the provision. So in the retirement benefits, so in this particular category, the first basic salary, all these items items comes, and I'll be sharing one pick with you in the with respect to the same. And I hope you must have purchased the books by now. Otherwise, I'll be sharing some study material so that you can study all these things simultaneously, right? So if there are any queries, we can discuss. Else, I would like to show you one document which I have downloaded from net for the latest course. So I think if we'll go through that document, so you will have more clarity. And if you, the time permit, we will start with the computation of grade system salary. If not, then we are going to discuss it tomorrow, right? So I'm sharing, not able to share. Give me a second. Okay, some problem is coming in sharing. Let me shift the document.